Following developing news tonight in Lancaster, where pop star Aaron Carter has died at the age of 34.
Yeah, the troubled performer grew up in the limelight, but he was in and out of rehab several times in his short.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old. I'm sorry. Sorry the way that I look. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad because there's like, no, be a happy camper.
He was found dead Saturday in his California home at the age of 34. The pop sensation's life cut short.
Is code 3 responses needed? Feel adult yelling at 902 in the tub.
Because I think the mental illness he has and the addiction he had, I think was controlling his life. But Aaron also was a very lonely person in his mind. You know, he had friends, he had family, but I think he's the type of a guy, he wants to be surrounded with family, blood-related family. He loved his son, you know, he loved kids. And in a point he said, can you be the godfather of my son? I said, of course I will be the godfather. But I think he was giving too much, but he was very lonely in his own.
As 50 Cent continues his public feud with Diddy, new claims have surfaced that could shed light on the tragic death of Aaron Carter. These shocking allegations have rocked Hollywood and raised serious questions about what really happened to the pop star. Aaron, who gained fame in the late 90s and early 2000s, tragically passed away at just 34 years old. He was the younger brother of Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys and began his music career at just 7 years old. With his energetic personality and catchy songs, Aaron quickly captured the hearts of fans. However, behind the glitz and glamour, he struggled with personal demons. His sudden death in a bathtub in 2022 left many people in disbelief and searching for answers.
People have been moving in and out of that home behind me all day, and tonight we heard from some of those closest to Aaron Carter, and they all say the same thing. They all share stories of a very kind, loving, caring, humble, yet troubled young man. It's the tragic death of a young performer, and now family, friends, and fans around the world are suffering the loss. Singer, rapper, actor Aaron Carter is dead at the age of 34. Carter's close friend and stylist shared this video of a recent birthday celebration for Carter's fiancée, Melanie Martin. She is also the mother of their 11-month-old son, Prince.
It's very painful. Very, very painful. I talked to him 2 weeks ago. He was at the dentist and he FaceTimed me. He said, come over. And I said, I have work to do. I wish I could have just go see him at least one more time.
LA County firefighters say they received a call about a drowning. The LA County Sheriff's Department says a house sitter called 911 around 11 a.m. Saturday to report a man unresponsive in his bathtub. It was Carter. The dispatcher advised her to start CPR until deputies and paramedics arrived. Then emergency personnel pronounced Aaron Carter dead at the scene. He had been grappling with substance for years, in and out of rehab. He once appeared on the show The Doctors, explaining he suffered from a number of mental health issues and was taking a variety of prescription pills to treat those conditions.
He was a good person. You know, he had his demons, as we all do, you know. I just wish he had another chance to defeat those demons, I'll say.
Carter began performing as a child and had hit albums starting in his teenage years. He is the younger brother of Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys and performed as an opening act for Britney Spears, as well as his brother's boy band, and also appeared on the reality TV series House of Carters. Fiancée Melanie Martin, social media influencer and model, arrived at the home to talk with investigators and seemed inconsolable. According to reports, their son Prince is under the court-ordered custody of Melanie's mother. But Aaron Carter revealed recently that he had entered rehab for a 5th time, seeking to regain custody of Prince. All right, take a look at this. Aaron Carter's public relations firm released a statement, quote, "The family has been notified and will be flying out to Los Angeles. Aaron worked very hard towards the end of his life in recovery to be a good father and to make amends with his family."
Comforted by the rest of the band, to the audience cries of, "We love you, Nick," grieving for his little brother. Nick writing in a social media post Sunday, "My heart is broken. Even though my brother and I had a complicated relationship, my love for him has never ever faded. Addiction and mental illness is the real villain here. I love you, Chiz." Aaron had a meteoric rise to fame. He was 9 years old when he first performed on stage, and by 13, he was a hit recording artist. His most popular album, Aaron's Party, peaking to number 4 on the Billboard 200 list, selling more than 3 million copies. This guest star stand on Lizzie McGuire in 2001, ratifying his first crush status for a tween nation.
Merry Christmas, Lizzie McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire's Hilary Duff once dated Aaron, taking to Instagram, addressing Aaron directly with compassion, writing, "I'm deeply sorry that life was so hard for you and that you had to struggle in front of the whole world. Boy, did my teenage self love you deeply." The actor and singer's death coming after years of deep-rooted personal and professional turmoil.
Aaron told me in 2011, "I love being a performer and entertaining, and when I can't do that, my world is in shambles. It doesn't work for me."
Over the years, Aaron dealing with bankruptcy and family strife.
What do you think the price of fame was for your family?
Self-destructing. Like a tornado just came through our house and family got tossed everywhere.
Battling with losing his sister Leslie to an overdose in January of 2012. The former teenage heartthrob was embroiled in domestic violence accusations by his fiancée. And in 2019, his brother Nick and twin sister Angel filed a restraining order against Aaron. He also publicly shared his struggles with addiction, talking about it here on The Doctors.
I was huffing because I'm a drug addict. I'm a drug addict. So I'm a drug addict in recovery. You might not look at me smoking weed as being so.
When Aaron Carter passed away, his death was initially linked to drug use and mental health struggles. However, new rumors are now making waves in Hollywood. Sources suggest the FBI could be reopening Aaron's case, especially after Diddy's recent arrest. Authorities are reportedly investigating whether there could be any connection between the music mogul and Aaron's untimely death. This news has sparked fresh discussions and a wave of new theories surrounding the tragedy.
Carter's cause of death is revealed. According to online records obtained by E! News, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner coroner determines that the singer died in November due to drowning. Secondary causes were listed as the effects of alprazolam, which is sold under the brand Xanax, and difluoroethane, a compressed gas. His death was ruled an accident. TMZ says that the full coroner's report states Aaron became, quote, incapacitated while in the bathtub due to the effects of substances and drowned. On November 5th, the singer's rep confirmed his passing to E! News in a statement, saying it is with deepest regret to report Aaron Carter was found unresponsive this AM in his home in Palmdale, California. That same day, the LA Sheriff's Department told E! News in a press release that deputies responded to a 911 call from a residence at approximately 11 a.m. According to the release, the informant on the call, a house sitter, stated she found a male unresponsive in the bathtub. Shortly after the deputies arrived, fire department personnel arrived and pronounced the male deceased at the scene. A Lancaster Sheriff's Office spokesperson confirmed to E! News that officers arrived at Aaron's home but offered no further details. Aaron, who was the younger brother of Backstreet Boys member Nick Carter, was a former child star in his own right. He rose to fame at age 9 in 1997 with the pop hit Crush on You, a cover of a song by the Jets. He went on to tour as an opening act for the Backstreet Boys as well as Britney Spears before headlining his own concerts.
I definitely want to be just as big as the Backstreet Boys or just as big as Britney, but not really in the sense of being big. Just having a good time and succeeding in my life and fulfilling my goals is all that really matters. No money, nothing really matters about anything.
He released 5 studio albums and famously dated actress Hilary Duff for several years. Following his death, she spoke out on Instagram saying, "For Aaron, I'm deeply sorry that life was so hard for you and that you had to struggle in front of the whole world. You had a charm that was absolutely effervescent. Boy, did my teenage self love you deeply. Sending love to your family at this time. Rest easy." Aaron's brother Nick also paid tribute to him, telling fans, "Even though my brother and I have had a complicated relationship, my love for him has never ever faded. I will miss my brother."
Did friends and family try to intervene at all, especially near the end?
I don't think so.
Why not?
To be honest, when I got there, the day the incident happened, there was no friends were there. I was really surprised. It was just me and Melanie families, few people. But people I used to see him every day in his house, on his FaceTime, nobody was there. That's why it's kind of concerning me. What happened? What was going on the day before? Like, we need to find out. I mean, not me, but the police will find out. But there is something just...
What do you think happened?
I personally think he was on medication and he fallen asleep in a bathtub, and that's what happened. That's what I personally think, but we don't know until we find out the real,
And you said you saw aerosol cans in the bathroom, correct? So there could have been that going on also?
Yes.
When was the last time you spoke to Aaron?
Well, we've been messaging on Instagram and text message like days before, but last time he FaceTimed me from Santa Monica. He was at the dentist's office. So he said, "Come down here, I'm doing a root canal. And it's very painful. I want you to hold my hand." I said, "I can't do it." And I had some plans, I had to go to work. I said, "I'll come see you tomorrow." And I couldn't go see him because I think he was traveling after that. He's doing some kind of touring, small concerts in different states.
There had been concern where fans had been reaching out and saying, "Hey, stop him from doing these drugs and stop him from doing the huffing." Had you seen that?
Yes, of course.
And did you ask him about that?
Yes, we had a conversation together and he said, "What do you want me to do?" I said, "Can we please check you into rehab? You do have the insurance," Melanie told me. "We can get you to the rehab." And he said, "Is that what you want me to do?" I said, "Well, I want you to do it for you than for me, because I don't want to see you like this." He goes, "Okay, I'll do it. Just give me a week and I'll do it. Give me 2 weeks and I'll do it." And it never happened.
Why don't you think you wanted to go to rehab?
Because I think the mental illness he has and the addiction he had, I think, was controlling his life. But Aaron also was a very lonely person in his mind, He had friends, he had family, but I think he's the type of a guy, he wants to be surrounded with family, blood-related family. He loved his son, he loved kids. And in a point he said, "Can you be the godfather of my son?" I said, "Of course I will be the godfather." But I think he was giving too much, but he was very lonely in his own mind. He wanted to be hugged, he wanted to be loved, but one person can't give all that, I think we needed more people there, but these people they were not there. I think they gave up on him.
Do you think his family gave up on him?
I think they gave up on him, and with all the respect to his family, and I saw the video yesterday, his brother, Nick, was crying. Of course, it's emotional. His brother. Of course, he's hurting a lot, but...
At just 7 years old, Aaron Carter won over audiences with his charm and catchy songs, becoming the perfect example of a successful child star. By the time he was a teenager, he was touring the world, selling out stadiums, and living what seemed like the dream life. But behind the scenes, his reality was far from perfect. According to social media and personal stories, Aaron's life was more like a nightmare than a fairy tale. He was open about his struggles with mental health, even saying that much of his pain came from his early experiences with powerful figures in Hollywood. Aaron described those years as a living hell, a claim that many now think might be connected to Diddy.
Ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old. I'm sorry. Sorry the way that I look. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. It hurts. It hurts so bad because there's like nothing I can do about it. I take for high blood pressure medication, and I took for my mouth. How would you feel every 2 seconds seeing a tweet? You go, oh, look at this.
I know that you have a very serious story about a pop star whose life fell completely apart. A shocking story about Aaron Carter.
Yeah, Nancy, you remember Aaron. This guy was huge back in the day. He sold millions of records, and we all watched Aaron on Dancing with the Stars. But a massive drug addiction ruined everything. His love life, his career, and he told me just how it all went downhill so fast.
When I was doing Dancing with the Stars, I developed an addiction to Xanax, because of stage fright. I developed stage fright during the show.
So here's Aaron's story. It all started in 2009. He went on Dancing to try to restart his career. Instead, anxiety fueled his addiction.
Started just getting heavier and heavier and heavier into the Xanax. Leslie, my sister, she was heavy into it as well. But an opportunity happened where I could save my life. Leslie never was presented that opportunity. I had a second chance to live, and she died from an overdose in my father's bed.
Leslie was just 25 when she died 2 years ago. Aaron had already been to rehab. How much Xanax were you doing?
At the height, I was taking 7 2-milligram Xanax bars, so that means 14 milligrams a day.
That is 3 times the average dose, an amount that would knock most people out. At what point did you know that you had a problem and had to stop?
I never really did.
Someone stepped in?
My mother stepped in. So her and my brother teamed up, and they got me to the Betty Ford Center.
Are you clean now?
Yes.
But drugs wasn't the only thing Aaron was dealing with behind the scenes of Dancing. He was millions of dollars in debt.
That stems from the years when I was like 13, 14, 15. I turned 18 years old. I got hit with $2.2 million of stuff that I owed. The people serving me lawsuits while I was on the dance floor. People didn't always know about that kind of stuff.
I
was being served lawsuits while I was doing the interviews on the dance floor after Dancing with the Stars. And then right in front of my partner and right in front of interviewers. And
like during the show?
Yeah. And
Aaron Carter begged for her in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you I am not vital. And no one said anything.
Silence breaker for my brother who is
Nick Carter has now been accused of an underage autistic fan with cerebral palsy.
My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up.
Your parents blew $500 million of your money?
Yeah, somewhere in between like $350, $400, $500 million.
What I need is people to understand that I'm human and I make mistakes just like every other human in this world.
Aaron Carter's cause of death has been revealed 5 months after his sudden passing. Carter was found dead on November 5th last year in a bathtub at his home in Lancaster, California. He was only 34 years old. According to a copy of his autopsy, the late musician died from drowning and the effects of difluoroethane, a flammable gas that is often used as the propellant in cans of compressed air. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's report also confirmed Carter drowned after inhalation of compressed gas and intake of alprazolam. The manner of death was ruled out.
Still trying to get a real investigation for the death of my son, Aaron Carter. On November 5th of last year, 34-year-old Carter was found dead in the bathtub of his Lancaster, California home. According to posts by his mother, quote, The coroner wrote it off as an accidental drug overdose. They never investigated it as a possible crime scene because of his addiction past. One of the photos shows the bathtub where Carter was found filled with green water. Another shows what appears to be feces smeared across the bathroom floor. A towel and some clothing items can also be seen on the floor in the photos. In one social media post, Carter's mother writes, quote, "Why are the towels perfectly placed?" In others, she alleges Carter received multiple death threats before he died, saying many people were making his life miserable. She also calls on true crime host Nancy Grace for help in the investigation. And in her most recent post, Carter's mother writes, quote, "We want answers. We want justice. There are people who must